So, hello and welcome to the first edition of a new show from FOSS, Our Common Future. As the name suggests, Our Common Future seeks to initiate a dialogue among well-meaning people from across the world. The idea is based on starting some kind of a cooperative development model in an interdependent world, or as ancient India would say, Vasudev Kutumbakum. Perhaps through dialogue, we can, over time, be able to see the archaicness of our insecurities and the hollowness of our suspicions. Perhaps through dialogue, we will be able to create a community of people united in their desire for peace, prosperity, and coexistence, instead of staying divided through hard national borders. और as उर्दू पोएट सरदार जाफरी had said, गुफ्तगू बंद ना हो, बात से बात चले, सुबह तक शाम मुलाकात चले, हम पे हंसती हुई तारों भरी रात चले. So with that intent, our common future opens with a dialogue on South Asia, because of course, neighborhood first.
The downfall of South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, SARC, began in 2014 when Mr. Modi, we cannot but speak of Mr. Modi, because he may be a successful Prime Minister of India, but he's not somebody with a regional spirit. His regionalism is unilateral, as I said before. So in his speech, in his address to the 2014 summit, Mr. Modi had this critical line in there that says, either our regionalism will go with all of us or with some of us. That's the exact quote. And that meant if Pakistan does not play ball, particularly at that time, the debate was about BBIN, the transport agreement, overland transport, then we'll go off on our own. We'll do a BIMSTEC, we'll do a BBIN without Pakistan involved, etc. In many ways, as the theme that has been generating in this conversation that we have as well, regionalism is good for the common person in each of our countries, the downtrodden people of each of our countries, because regionalism is not a geopolitical concept. Regionalism, South Asian regionalism, is an idea to generate social justice in South Asia through economic growth and equity in democracy.
India really has fairly contentious, or certainly far from ideal relationships with all of its neighbors. And I think that's something which we need to keep in mind. Why is that? How has that come about? And how does that impact the relationship between the other countries as well, and also the future or any possible future for SAARC or South Asia as a region?
Let's look at what has happened since 2014. I mean, India had concerns about Chinese membership, but yet, I mean, absolutely, China has spread itself across the region now. What happened after 2014? In 2015, China signed the CPEC agreement with Pakistan, $62 billion. Some say 87 billion, but it's the largest overseas investment China has in Pakistan, in the world. That's in Pakistan. And CPEC passes through Gilgit-Baltistan, which of course is the disputed territory as part of the Kashmir dispute. So not only India had concerns about Chinese presence, but that has only emboldened China to expand itself. And not just Pakistan. Pakistan, you have the Gwadar port in Sri Lanka. China is building the Hambantota port. And of course, you have the China-Myanmar economic corridor as well. And if all of this comes to fruition, and that's a concern in New Delhi as well, it almost becomes like a geostrategic ring, around India. So the question, again, regionally, because Pakistan obviously has its own interests, but regionally, what has India achieved by trying to sideline China? It has only brought China closer to all other countries. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Terrorism is a huge issue. I have no two words about it, but we have to think about our future generations, and whether we will be able to survive. So this is how I think. I think I'm not saying it's exaggerated, but by focusing on terrorism, we are ignoring one of the biggest issues that we will face.